This is a whole chicken. I portioned them into 2 breasts, 2 legs, 2 thighs, and here are 2 wings, 2 wings and the bone portion. So I'm going to make the wings and the bone. I'm going to make that into a chicken broth, and I'm going to deal with these meat separately. Let's just put it outside. So for the bone and the wings, all you need is some Chinese dates. It's better, if you can, just to cut that slightly so that when the broth is cooking and the goodness and the sweetness of the Chinese dates will come out. And we have 1 ginger here in, and here we have half cucumber, and make sure you leave the seeds in because they are the one brings in the flavor, and some mushroom and some tomato in, 2 tomatoes and 3 or 4 mushrooms. So just like so, and cold water. So the water is just about to sort of cover the chicken here. And next thing is turn on the gas on high until it starts boil. Then we will reduce that and cook it for a further 1.5 hours to 2 hours, depending on what time you have. Basically, when you see those vegetables falling apart and start to bring out the color of the soup, then that's pretty much ready. So we're going to put the lid on. So that's a chicken soup, chicken broth, and once it's done, we can add in some leaf vegetables later, but I will show you that later. So for the chicken today, I'm going to oven cook them, but I will show you how to make the sauce. To start with, here are the ingredients. We have olive oil, soy sauce, chicken powder, oregano or oregano, thyme, onion salt, paprika, garlic salt, and chili powder, and that's optional. And also black pepper, I just forgot. You notice I didn't put any salt in there because we have onion salt and garlic salt here, and also light soy. If you don't have onion salt or garlic salt, you can always use onion or garlic, but then you need to add salt in. The reason why I'm using these is because onion and garlic, they burn easily in the oven, so they will have this burn taste. So I usually use these, but I don't use salt because of that. So to start with, we are going to just add some olive oil, probably about 3 tablespoons, because we have a lot of meat here. A good amount of pepper. Basically enough pepper to cover the surface. That's how I eye them. And with onion salt, just sort of a tablespoon, because you can always add more in later, but you can't take them out if it's too much. So teaspoon, sorry. And same goes for the thyme. Paprika. Onion salt. Some oregano, right, so this much. You can add more or less as how you like it. This is optional. If you like hot stuff, add more, otherwise just add a bit, because the boys is going to eat it, so we don't add as much. Chicken powder, perfect fine for cooking chicken. So about a spoon like that. And a good amount of soy sauce for liquid, because we're going to oven cook those. Okay, like so. And then mix that up really well. Now, because the chicken breast and the legs and thighs, and along with those legs and thighs, will have a different cooking time, so I'm going to dip the chicken breast in first, and then going to transfer that in a separate bowl, because the chicken breast cooking time in the oven is shorter than the legs and thighs. So just make sure that you coat that beautifully. Like so, and skin side up, so that if there's any extra juice, so the bottom bit can sit in the juice. The next bit. Again, skin side up. Now we are just going to add the legs and thighs. Mix it well. If at any point you find you don't have enough liquid sauce, just add a little bit more olive oil and soy sauce. But just be careful, don't add too much, because if it's too salty, you can't take the saltiness out later. So I think this is plenty. Just make sure that you make sure that all the sides are in contact with the sauce, like so. That's beautiful. Because the legs and thighs are quite fatty compared with the chicken breast, so you can see I have actually extra sauce here, so I'm just going to transfer some of that to the chicken breast side. I'm going to cover that up and let that rest in the fridge for about an hour while the chicken soup is cooking. Then I will show you the next step. This is 10 minutes in. You can see it's coming to a boil. Turn that right down to the lowest heat setting. In fact, I'm going to transfer that into even a smaller stove. So the lowest heat setting here. And you don't need to do anything. Make sure you don't put any salt or anything. So you can always add something later, but just no salt, nothing, just those ingredients. Slow cook them about an hour and a half, then we'll check again. So this is about an hour and a half in. As you can see, the soup has been cooking beautifully. There's been some colour coming out from the vegetables. So now we can take this meat out. They are falling apart actually. Just very carefully rest them in a very large plate or container. And I'm going to clean up this meat. Wow, look how beautiful the soup is. we're going to add some leaves in a moment. That will be our starter, the soup. I'm going to let that cool down for 10 minutes or so. So the meat has been marinated for about an hour. If you have time, overnight is better, but if you don't, that's okay. 30 minutes is plenty. So now I'm going to just take the breast out. I'm going to put the breasts on the smaller sheet of pan. Just want to show you. Can you see that's been marinated so beautifully? Lots of juice left here, and we are not going to waste it. And similarly, the legs and thighs are marinated beautifully as well. Okay, I'm just gonna flip that a tiny bit so to make sure that the skin side is up. Wow, look at that. The meat is marinated very well. The dark color is because of the soy sauce. If you don't have soy sauce, if you have just salt, you won't go this dark. Like so. Going to just separate them tiny little bit. Right now, you can see we have some extra sauce left. Of course, we are not going to waste it. We are going to combine them. Like so. And I cut some potato wedges. Add them in. Just going to mix them really well. So the potatoes mixed up nicely, and I purposely left the skin on. I'll show you why in a moment. So now they are in the sauce for about a minute or so. Just gonna place them skin side down like that. Use your hand, it's quicker. To the tray that we have the legs and thighs, because they will be going to the oven the longest. So find the gap where you can. Skin side down. As you can see, we still have some sauce left, so we're not going to waste the sauce. Just gonna brush the sauce over the potatoes. Okay, make sure that one falls down. So make sure the skin side is down so that they will cook from the top. Just like that. That will go into the oven for about 40 minutes, and halfway through we are going to add the chicken breast, which is over here. So these breasts will be cooked for about 20 minutes, and leg and thighs will be cooked for about 40 minutes. Still tiny little bit of juice left, and which is okay. We are going to just brush them on halfway through. So now the next step is this will go inside the oven because it's a cold oven. So I will put that on for 25 minutes. But overall, if you got a hot oven, so it's 40 minutes in total. So first 25 minutes is actually the 5 minutes to heat up the oven and the first 20 minutes cooking. So 180 for 25 minutes. Now I'll show you what's the next step. So this is the meat we cleaned up from the bones and the wings. And I'm going to show you what the starter would look like. So this is a soup. I've been slowly cooking for about 1.5 to 2 hours now. Just going to add some leaves in, like so. Add as many or as little as you require. So I'm just going to show you what would be for one portion, okay? The leaves only need to be going for about 30 seconds, no more than a minute or so. Just soften up very quickly, like that. So that's the leaf. As you can see, it's still very crunchy. Yes. And we are going to add some liquid, like so. That is the tomato skin that's basically being slowly cooked and peeling off. So everything's being slowly cooked for about 1.5 to 2 hours. Like so. Add one tiny little bit of cucumber and a tomato. As you can see, they are falling apart. And add one Chinese date. Add a tiny little bit of meat in there. And as it is, that's perfect for a starter with no salt. So that will be very palate cleansing and very healthy. So 12 minutes is up. From cold oven, if it's hot, it's 10 minutes. And I'm just going to take that out very quickly. Give the food a quick brush. Right, now that will go in for another 20 minutes, but I'm going to split that into 10 and 10 because we still have the chicken breast there. So that going for 10 minutes along with this chicken breasts. .10 and we will check for another 10 minutes and that should be done. So 10 minutes is up and we are going to have the final 10 minutes. This is cooking very beautifully and this is cooking beautifully too. We're just going to simply flip that around and we actually may swap the position because it's been cooking for about 15 minutes, so I'm going to give the last 10 minutes to the breast here. 10 minutes. Final timer is up. That is definitely cooked for sure. Golden and beautifully as well. Let's turn that up. Same goes for this. along with the soup. And I'm going to pair the chicken breast with some salad and rice. I will show you the final product in a minute. We are going to let that rest for 5 minutes, then we're going to serve.
Deliciously nutritious soup to go with the Chinese inspired chicken wedges and the obligatory boy ketchup to go with it.